iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the South Boston Speedway for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. It's the final race before the Christmas and New Year holiday. Which one of these drivers tonight will be saying ho, 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 and have a happy new year? Tonight, though, my name is Roger Muth, and alongside me, that is Kelly Dahl. Kelly, welcome to one of the smallest tracks on the schedule with the tightest racing groove.
Yeah, we got another bull ring up tonight, and as we saw these last few weeks, it is going to be a fight for the bottom side of that racetrack. Expect to see those drivers right on the yellow line, probably even getting those left tires below the yellow line and using the banking to help them get around. But the main thing is to watch for some drivers maybe trying to diamond these corners coming off of turns 2 and 4 and trying to get underneath their car in front.
That's what we look to expect here tonight with a full house of 35 drivers so far signed in here tonight at the South Boston Speedway here tonight for Best Holiday Creations 125. Of course, Best Colorful Creations back on this season with us here with the Upstate Racing League, and of course, they are the official cake headquarter and supplier for the Upstate Racing League. You have a creation in mind, we'll let Beth make that custom cake for you for your next special event or big moment. Call Best Colorful Creations today, the exclusive cake provider for the Upstate Racing League. Coming into the night, though, for the drivers of the series here, take a look at that point standings real quick. The Arts Barbershop point standings have a tie virtual at the top of the field here, and that is Justin Fuller and Guillaume Fortin. Those two drivers have picked up wins this season. There's only, well, I believe one other driver that has picked up a win, and that is the rookie Steven Rochford. So right now, those are the drivers that all have wins, but the standing is Justin Fuller, Guillaume Fortin, Bill Martin just sitting 2 points back off the back of both those cars, and then it is going to be Matthew Barkhouse and Brett Hahn rounding out the top 5 point standings in the Arts Barbershop point standings. So there's a tight battle at the top of the field, Kelly, and especially here at this track, anybody could win.
Yeah, you said it's tied. I also just checked the standings with the drop weeks factored in. It is still tied to show just how close Justin Fuller and Guillaume Fortin are. But now I believe we're going to be getting ready, and the drivers are heading to the grid.
That's right. It's time to head down to the track side here tonight, bringing you the starting lineup. Starting lineup already set due to the handicap from the series, and this is how they will line up. Snagging the front row here tonight, car number 31, and that is the Attitude Esports number 31, Ryan Beef. That'll be the number 31 of Justin Rigsby. To the outside, the 802 Performance entry. That'll be car number 4, Rodney Hantoon. 7-11, Brett Hahn back in action here tonight. He'll start back in third, while Guillaume Fortin, car number 13G, will start in fourth. Fifth will go to the number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse, and back into the sixth starting spot here tonight. Car number 45, this will be Casey Bietti. Back in seventh, it's the driver out of Vermont driving the Sharon Beef entry number 73. That'll be Vernon Woodard. And car number 88, that'll be the double M entry. That'll be Matt McLean. And the R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage number 75 of Mike Alexander will go 9th. And Scott Austin in car number 5, the Austin Designs entry, goes 10th. Starting back into the 11th spot here tonight, it'll be car number 66. That'll be Stephen Rochford. Bill Martin, the Doctor, car number 39, will go 12th. 13th on the call here tonight, it'll be Justin McDuff. 14th, Joe Schaefer Jr. And then it'll be car number 51, Justin Fuller. The 8 car here tonight, piloted by Steph Marinac back in 16th. 17th to Dalton Williamson. 18th to Mr. Brian Hacker. Brian Rogers in 19th, Al Smith Jr. in 20th. And take a look at the rest of our running field here and the way they will start here tonight. And our best holiday creations, 125 for these drivers. It does look like we will only roll 34 cars here tonight, as they are all down pacing the field here tonight. We'll get things ready next time by. It looks like we should be ready to fire things off with the number 31 of Justin Rigsby at the top of the spot here tonight. We're coming to the Hanson Starter Shop restart green flag zone here tonight. Matt Eddy does appear to look like he will be able to make the call, but he will have to start from pit road here on the initial start of this one here tonight as we get ready to go racing. Race fans, I hope you're ready for this one. This is going to be a holiday celebration with 35 of the best short track racers on the iRacing.com platform. Rigsby, Hontoon, Hahn, and Fortin, the top 4 drivers that will be the first ones into turn number 4, or turn number 1, 2, and possibly 3 and 4. That is for sure. Should be seeing the iRacing.com pace car make the left-hand turn. It does right there, ready to go 125 laps into the Hanson Starter Shop green flag zone. We are back for the first time here racing tonight.
And a big slide from Rodney Huntoon going through turns 1 and 2. That is going to cost him a ton of spots. After starting in second, he is going to drop way back down the field. He is going to have a gap down to the bottom, but from lap 1, losing about 5 positions, going from second down to 7th. But Justin Rigsby still holding on to the race lead. Brett Hahn trying to chase after him now.
Good thing, though, he has gotten himself to the bottom side of the speedway. That is car number 4, Rodney Hontoon. Casey Bietti now, though, is sitting there on the outside. So is Brett Hahn. So the battles are for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th currently here on the speedway. Vernon Woodard in his holiday paint scheme, the Stand RC Speedway entry, just wrapping the bottom side of the speedway. A couple drivers into the outside wall back there. I believe a couple cars scattering down the front straightaway. Everybody able to stay. Well, nope, the caution flag is going to fly.
Yeah, caution flag is out. Looks to be possibly involving the 7 of Justin Coachman. He is still stuck facing the wrong direction on the front straightaway, and there's a few cars actually involved. It seems like there's Al Smith Jr. in the 22 as well.
So a couple cars wrapped up in this one. Yeah, you see Smith going around on his holiday festive. Oh, he's got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on car number 96 here tonight. Have to take a look back here. Al Smith was already spinning on that angle. Take a look as they were all battling for right around the 20th position. Oh, Smith just got loose going in the corner. Around goes the 96, and everybody pretty much able to avoid. Carpenter into the outside wall. There is the number 22 of Mike Holtzclaw also going around, and then Coachman getting turned around off turn number 4.
Yeah, an early caution here, round rolling on lap number 6 of 125, and that is going to shake up our field just a little bit. I mean, we saw a few drivers that struggled on that restart. One driver that was having a fantastic run before the caution came out, and that was Guillaume Fortin. Already got himself up 2 positions. He had just gotten ahead of Brett Hahn when the caution came out, and now he is going to be starting to the outside of Justin Rigsby. So Guillaume Fortin wanting to take control of this championship lead.
That's a good start here in one of the tightest bull rings that we go to this season. Of course, we've been to quite a few tracks already this season. We've been to the Iowa Speedway where Justin Fuller was able to pick up the big win. Myrtle Beach, Guillaume was able to pick up his first ever win. Then at Southern National, Justin Fuller back to victory lane. Lanier, Bill Martin. And last week at Langley, it was actually the rookie, Stephen Rochford, picking up that big win there. He had to start a little bit deeper in the field now tonight due to that win because, well, the handicap puts you a little bit farther back on where you finished. The top 15, of course, getting that handicap.
Well, we're getting ready to put away the Confusion Motorsports yellow flag, and we are going to get ready to go back racing as the drivers now approaching the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. iRacing pace car going to duck into the safety of pit road. Justin Grigsby in control of field. He's going to get a fantastic launch down into turn number 1. Guillaume Fortin actually struggling a little bit. That's going to allow Brett Hahn, that 711. He's going to get his nose to the inside of that 13G. However, Fortin still charging back on that high side. He's going to stay on the high side and try to see if he can roll it up to the front.
Put another lap in the book here under green flag racing. Justin Grigsby will lead lap number 9. It'll be Grigsby, it'll be Guillaume, and Brett Hahn down to the bottom side. Matthew Barkhouse there in the R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage Holiday Festive Paint Scheme is to the outside. A lot of holiday paint schemes out here tonight. Which one of these drivers are going to be able to have the biggest present by parking it into victory lane here tonight? Brett Hahn on that 711 just not able to put the power down. He'll lose 1, he'll lose 2. There goes Casey Pietty, who had one of the fastest times in our practice session.
Yeah, and he had the preferred line on the inside, but just could not get the power down. As you mentioned, may have just spun tires up a little bit coming off of the corner, and now that's going to put him into the grasp of Vernon Woodard, who is looking to maybe get that 73 car around that 711 and move himself up into the top 5, but the Confusion Motorsports green caution flag is going to fly once again. We do have another car spun out and looks to be involving the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr.
So the second time that Confusion Performance caution flag has flown here tonight, and there you see the Rusties, number 12, Lightning McQueen, number 12, that is the driver out of Georgia, Vermont. Brian Rogers Jr. has gone around here to bring out that caution flag. Him, and it looks like the 2B of Brett Bartels may be making a little tangle. Let's watch it back here on the replay. Let's see what happened to these two drivers. They were battling just for the 22nd and 23rd position, and they come together. There you see Chris Stump, Mike Holtzclaw also getting a little piece of that. Brian Rogers Jr. backing it off the speedway, trying to stay out of the way. Watch it back here once again, see if we can get a better angle of what just transpired between the two drivers, as it looks like the 2B drove it in about maybe a car length and a half too far there, and Brian Rogers Jr. had the line, and they made the contact, and that's what will bring out that caution flag here this evening.
So our second caution flag of the night is going to bunch the field back up once more, and we've seen both times everyone's trying to get to the bottom side. However, that's not complete. Unlike last week, the high line does have a little bit of pace. We've seen a couple drivers be able to kind of hold their ground there and fight back against a few passes, so maybe we'll even see this high line maybe come into play a little bit later on in this race when drivers start to wear out their tires. But the main thing is definitely going to be saving those tires. We've seen it many times throughout this season. Whoever can really protect that right front is going to have the pace at the end of the race, because there are no spare tires in pit road. These guys cannot come down and replace these tires. They have to take care of them.
That is one of the biggest things since that last tire update, bringing us, I believe it is to version number 7 now, is just protecting the tires. It doesn't matter if it's these super late models, the ARCA cars, the Cup cars. It's very important here in the sim to protect those tires for the late runs. And of course, with no tires like you alluded to, it is definitely one of the biggest challenges here of the evening. I mean, minus having 35 cars on the speedway, a lot of cars here tonight at the South Boston Speedway showing up here because, well, of course, it's the Best Holiday Creations 125 here tonight. It's the last race before the Christmas holiday. Everybody trying to grab a present from underneath the tree here with the Upstate Racing League, and we'll see who will do it as they come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. iRacing.com safety car off the racing surface. Green flag flying here tonight once again at the South Boston Speedway.
And once again, that 13G of Guillaume Fortin not getting a great restart. That's going to allow Matthew Barkhouse. He's going to move that 15 car to the bottom side. Guillaume Fortin looking to be struggling with that car just a little bit on the high side. That 13G was wobbling through turns 3 and 4.
He's wobbling, but so is the R&R Kingsman Auto Savage number 15 down on the bottom side, dipping those left side tires down below that yellow line. That time going to miss the apron a little bit. Him and Guillaume are going to bang door panels down in 3 and 4. As it looks like it, well, I was going to say the 13 looked like he had a good run, but here comes that 15 storming back. Seems like every other corner it's back and forth, inch by inch.
And this is not what these two drivers are going to be wanting to doing at this stage of the race. This is going to wear those tires a little more as they're having to fight a bit harder. And now actually the 13G is going to nose ahead off of turn 4 there, having a good run on that high side. He's going to get a little bit of a tag from that 15 once again. And now here comes Matthew Barkos charging back alongside of Guillaume Fortin.
They keep battling like this one. Casey Bietti just trying to figure out which line is going to go and which line is going to stall out right now. Vernon Woodard is also right there. Brett Hahn, the 66, last week's winner. Stephen Rochford, Bill Martin, Mike Alexander, and Joe Schaefer Jr. Right now, the top 10 drivers here, all chasing down the number 31 of Justin Rigsby, and he's pulled out to the biggest lead of the evening. Half a second race lead for Justin Rigsby here as we knock lap number 23 off.
Yeah, and Rigsby is just trying to focus on opening up that gap as much as possible, but that gap just got erased as once again the Confusion Motorsports caution flag flies. We've got some trouble in turns 1 and 2, looks to involve Gary Eschen.
Yeah, there it is, the rookie this season, car number 23. Gary Eschen has gone around, and you can tell that driver not very happy. A very accomplished short track racer here on the iRacing.com, coming this season in as a rookie here with the Upstate Racing League, and right now his car looks to have been involved in this wreck. A lot of damage to the front nose piece of that Jumpman Toyota Camry. Let's take a look here. He's battling. That's A.J. Hamill to the outside. That is the battle for the 21st position. No problems for A.J. And then down this track is the number 23 that gets turned around.
Yeah, a little bit of bumping and banging off of turn number 4 just sent the 23 around into turn number 1, and a little bit of damage to the front of that car. Actually, some fairly heavy damage to the front of the car, so hopefully he's still got some good airflow coming into that radiator, and hopefully there's no damage to the radiator itself, because that could be a big killer at this track if he overheats that thing.
Yeah, there's no room for, any airflow really to come through here. There you see the 88 of Matthew Eddy going around 360 and hammer back down for the Eddy Performance Solution entry. So no cooling here tonight for some of these drivers, as there's just no escaping 35 cars on the small South Boston Speedway. And when everybody's running the same line, is almost a little bit of problems there, as the number 7, Justin Coachman, is getting the Lucky Dog Award. So the Rumar Vinyl Designs, number 7 out of Rochester, New York, will get another lap back. Couple laps down due to him being spun around in that first caution flag when Al Smith Jr. Looped it around. So did the 7, and he's got put a couple laps down until he was able to point car number 7 back into the right direction. So Coachman back to just now, I believe that is going to be 4 laps behind the race leaders. Pace, put the iRacing.com pace car lights are back off once again here tonight at the South Boston Speedway, getting ready to come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone.
Pace car going to move into the safety of the pit road, and Rigsby going to get another fantastic launch. So is that 15 of Barkos. He's going to stay right on the bumper of the 31. Guillaume Fortin, though, also going to be stuck on that high side. He's now going to get himself up to the door of the 31 of Rigsby. He's going to challenge for the race lead on the high side, and he's going to be completely even up with that 31. The 15 of Barkos giving a bit of a shove to Rigsby to try to help him off the corner, but it is not helping. Guillaume Fortin is on a mission on the high side.
We've seen the outside work for that 13G, and it's exactly doing what he needs here tonight, and that's to stay right there with the race leader at the line. He's going to have a nose ahead. The 13G, Guillaume Fortin, now the race leader here on lap number 31. Rigsby still holding the bottom side of the speedway. Can he keep it there? A little scrape of the outside paint there. The Merry Christmas, number 13G. Again, he'll scrape it up just a little bit.
He is going to get clear of the 31 at Rigsby, though, and move down to that bottom side. So now Guillaume Fortin in control of this race. Moving back a few spots, though, Casey Bietti is under the inside of Barkos, and he's trying to get himself up into that top 3. Barkos trying to see what he can do on that high side, trying to maybe emulate what Fortin just did a few laps ago, but now he's just getting a little bit of a tag on the wall. And we also see right behind them, Brett Hahn in that 711. He had moved back a few laps ago, but now he's using that outside line to his advantage, and he's moving up into 6th place.
Everybody's been able to see what that 13G has done here tonight, and now there's drivers that are starting to work themselves up the speedway here early in this one still trying to take care of their tires tonight. One driver that's well below that yellow line, I believe that was number 75 of Mike Alexander. There's the R&R Kingsman Merry Christmas, number 75. He had all 4 tires below those yellow lines, and Well, caution lights are back on here. The Confusion Performance caution lights back on. And I do believe it will be the 2B of Brett Bartels. There you see the Bartel Builders entry. He's got some damage to, well, just about every quarter panel. I think the rear bumper and the roof are still intact of the 2B. Let's take a look back and see, as there is the 2B entry. Ellie Musgrave just behind him, and that is Chris Stump out in front. Ellie Musgrave dives down to the inside, and oh, very slight contact, but it upsets the 2B, and nowhere for the Carpenter's Tax Service. Number 1 of Jeremy Carpenter to go. Let's ride on board with Jeremy Carpenter. Watch this from his onboard perspective. Carpenter was already up running the high line, just absolutely nowhere to go. As that 2B car drifted up the speedway right in front of the Carpenter's Tax Service Oldsmobile number 1, and Carpenter brought that to pit road immediately.
Yeah, but that was, for Brett Bartels, that was a hard hit directly to that left front, and that is going to be some very concerning damage to the left front of that machine, and most likely is bent out of shape. I'm going to try to see if I can see within his cockpit. It's seemingly driving straight for the most part, so hopefully he hasn't bent this that left front, but we'll have to see how that car is going to handle once we get back to Green Flag Racing.
He'll have to start shotgun to the field back there. That's EJ Aurora also back there. Jimmy McIntyre, Gary Eschen. They're all from the 30th place on back here tonight. Hey, Kelly, guess who just got that lucky dog?
I'm going to guess it was probably Justin Coachman again.
That's right. He'll knock another one off, and that car still looks very straight. Not many scratches, dings, or dents on the Rumar Vinyl Designs number 7, so Coachman getting the, well, quite a few lucky dogs here early on in this one. That'll be the 3rd lucky dog in a row that he has now snagged, and we're just on lap number 39. We'll knock that one down here under the caution flag here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. Race fans, we got to thank you all, though, for tuning in here tonight to watch the Upstate Racing League. Of course, the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series are the drivers that are on the Speedway here tonight, as we have one final race, and that is this one before the Christmas New Year holiday. We get a little bit of a break for the next couple of weeks off the air as these drivers all gear up for the Carpenter's Tax Service 100 at the Stafford Motor Speedway on January the 4th in 2023.
But we are going to get the field stacked up once again behind the iRacing pace car. Guillaume Fortin going to be actually in charge of the field this time around as we get closer to the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. Pace car going to dive down to pit road. We'll see if that 13G can do. He gets a fantastic launch off of turn number 4. That's going to get him well clear of the 31 of Rigsby. Rigsby trying to move down to the bottom side, but Barkhouse going to take away that lane. Barkhouse trying to move himself up into second. Rigsby tags the wall off of turn number 2, and he is losing ground to the 15.
So the 13G is clear and gone. About 4 car lengths right now is the race lead as the caution lights are back on again. And this time, big trouble down here. It is, well, parking lot, turn 1.
Yeah, that is what happens on a short track like this when we have a caution right off of the restart. There's pretty much nowhere for anyone to go, and it looks like that all started off of turn number 4 as a couple cars got into each other, and that sent a car into the wall. And with how tight the track is, especially on the front straightaway where you've got a wall to the outside and a wall to the inside, there was just nowhere for these drivers to go.
Let's take a look back. It's going to involve the 88 of Matt McLean. Him and Michael Trevarthen get together. Then A.J. Hamill, Dalton Williamson, and oh boy, it becomes a big mess after the start-finish line there.
And it was a strange bounce a couple of those cars took that just launched them right back into the racing line as the rest of the field came by, and really there was no hope for some of those drivers. Like, you take a look at the 96 of Al Smith Jr., he was just coming around the field, slowing up as much as he could, trying to maybe just gas at the throttle and get around those drivers that he thought were crashing to the inside. Suddenly 3 cars just bounce up in front of him.
Take a ride here on board with A.J. Hamill on the Arts Barbershop onboard camera. Nowhere for him to go. He hits the back of the Matt McLean entry and then gets rear-ended also, and you see all the chaos occurring behind him. Joshua Buckley also involved in the 13MA. Nowhere to go for him. Dalton Williamson and a slew of other drivers.
Lots of cars with some very heavy damage now, as that was a very big hit for a lot of them. So a few drivers likely taken out of contention here tonight, but they are not. Some of them will not park their cars as long as they are still driving straight. I mean, you look at all the damage on that 96 machine, and he is still going to keep that car out there. As it looks to be, for the most part, he's not going to be a hazard, but I'm sure with that much damage, I don't think that 96 is going to be able to get too much further up the field.
Yeah, Rudolph is definitely not guiding that sleigh tonight for Al Smith. As remember last week, Al Smith unfortunately missing his first, I believe it was almost ever that he's never missed a race. And last week, unfortunately, missing a race. He's back here tonight, and he was having computer issues, but it's good to see Rudolph is still on the speedway for the time being. A couple cars getting waved around the iRacing.com pace car because the lights have been turned off, so they're tagged the back of the field. That'll turn things back over to Guillaume Fortin, Justin Rigsby, Matthew Barkhouse, and Casey Bietti, the top four, as they get ready to come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone.
Yeti trying to warm up his tires as we get closer to that restart zone. Pace car going to be getting down to the safety of pit road. And the 13G once again in control of the field. He's going to launch right away, going to get a huge gap over the rest of the field. Matthew Barkow is going to get himself back underneath Justin Rigsby once more as Rigsby goes way up the racetrack to turn one and not going to quite get the momentum off of turn two to get himself clear.
And it looks like he's going to overshoot a little bit of turn number 3 there, but actually got a pretty good run through the center portion of it. They'll go back door to door down into turn 1, and this time maybe just a slight little contact there from the 15 into the 31. That scoots the 31 up the speedway a little bit. Rigsby tried to come down on the door panel, that time down in 3 and 4. Not going to happen. It will be the R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse being able to make that pass as there's a battle right behind them. That's Brett Hahn and the number 73. That is Vernon Woodard. There's Stephen Roachford. And then there's Joe Schaefer Jr., 2 contenders that were in last week's contention for the win.
And Joe Schaefer Jr., also one of those guys contending for the championship, as he's got himself in a decent points position. As he's been running a fairly decent race for a season so far. Had a win kind of just fall out from him, but most of these races, he has been finishing in the top 5, and I think once you factor the drop weeks in, he's pretty much up towards the top of the field.
Week in and week out, he finds himself to the front, just like that number 39 there, the doctor, Bill Martin. Lighthearted Ale onside the car. There's Justin Fuller. There's Mike Alexander. A lot of champions here in this group because there's Steph Marinac also. And how about it? There's the number 11 of Brian Hack of the Carbon Junction entry. The, well, I don't know if you took a look at the hood of that, but Elton the Elf is back on board number 11.
I think that's a returning character from the last few years, but yeah, that is a nice-looking number 11 machine. He's trying to get himself a nice finish to go along with it, but currently sitting in 13th. However, he is on that preferred bottom lane, but we have seen that high side has been able to hold ground. Now we see just in front of them, Joe Schaefer Jr. is going to make the swap from the high side to the low side as he was stuck behind Brett Hahn, who I don't believe is really having a good run on that high lane.
No, Brett Hahn in the 7-Eleven quick time entry is still stuck up to the outside. A lot of these drivers have migrated to the bottom as a little contact there from the number 8 of Steph Marinac and the 75 of Mike Alexander. 2 champions rubbing a little paint here tonight, and they're going to get close once again down into the corner. That just shows you how 2 champions can run door to door, swap a little of that paint, and they don't even miss a beat. They just keep on ticking here tonight. Joe Schaefer Jr. dipping all 4 below that yellow line, that time down in 3 and 4. This time, he'll get a little tap there from the 8. The 8 gets a tap from the 11. Bumper cars down around the bottom at South Boston.
Some great driving from all 4 of those drivers, because that 75 of Alexander as well got a little piece of that. And all 4 of those guys got a little bit sideways. They were able to regather it and pretty much, like you said, not miss a beat. They came right off that corner completely straight as an arrow and recovered those cars perfectly.
Still down around the bottom for Schaefer and Marinac and Hacker. Brett Hahn still stuck to the outside there. So was Mike Alexander. They just cannot find their way to the bottom. There's the number 4, Rodney Hontoon. Started inside the top 5. He's back here running into the 14th position right now. There you see the 802 Precision entry. Back there, that Dodge riding right ahead of the Grinch himself. There's car number 5. That's the Austin Designs Grinch entry. He is back there running into the 15th position. Chris Stump back there, Justin McDuff, Mike Holtzclaw, Brian Rogers, and Jimmy McIntyre. Currently rounding down the 20 positions here tonight. Working lap number 62, just about halfway here tonight in the Best Holiday Creations 125 from the South Boston Speedway. Mike Alexander still trying to get around 1 car into the outside wall. That'll be the 7 of Justin Coachman.
Coachman continuing just having a rough night here as he's going to drop back through the field, and lose some more ground as he's still stuck 4 laps down here, just trying to stay out of the way. And it is very difficult to do at a track like this, as with as many cars as there are still on this track. But looking back towards the front of the field, looks like the 73 car of Vernon Woodard. He's trying to get around Rigsby. After Rigsby lost the race lead, he has been moving back throughout the field. So that 31 may have burned up his tires just a little bit too early.
Yeah, you got to remember he was locked in that heavy battle with Guillaume there for the top spot for a while. Then Matthew Barkhouse, and then Casey Bietti finally got around him too. And now Vernon Woodard, the 600 micro sprint driver out of the Devil's Bowl up there in Vermont, giving the asphalt thing a shot for the second consecutive year here with the Upstate Racing League. And he's been inside the top 10 in just about every race. Hasn't quite got the finishes as, oh boy, the caution lights are back on. One on its lid. That'll be the driver out of Spirit Lake. That'll be the Bartell Builders entry. And Al Smith Jr. going for a little bit of a tail slap spin around.
And that looked to have all started off of turn number 4 and continued down into turn number 1. Those 4 cars involved some heavy damage to all of them. And like you said, Brett Bartell's ending up on his lid.
Take this look back, and it's going to involve E.J. O'Rourke, Brett Bartels, Matt McLean. Michael Trevarthen was also right there, and Al Smith Jr. He comes to a stop and trying to get going. E.J. O'Rourke started to back up, and unfortunately then Al Smith, and when Smith goes to spin it around, realizes, oh boy, the leaders are right here, so he elects to take the quick tow back to pit road. That is an option here with the iRacing.com platform.
And what that really did was kill a lot of the momentum throughout the field, because Matthew Barkhouse had closed up the gap to Guillaume Fortin. Fortin, after getting the lead, had pretty much opened up half a second, and by the time the caution came out, Barkhouse was right on the bumper of that 13G.
So is that to negate, though, all that? And, well, we'll have to see how this is re-racked and stacked. It will be Guillaume, and then it will be Barkhouse, Bietti, Rigsby, Woodard, Rochford, Martin, Fuller, Schaefer, Marinac, your top 10. And Coachman going to get that Lucky Dog award once again, so he'll go back to 3 laps down here tonight on lap number 69. Of course, it is the 6th time the Confusion Performance caution lights have been displayed here tonight for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. Boy, a little bit of a rough one here tonight as we are only on lap number 70 working that 6th caution flag this evening. Taking a look at the drivers that have decided to pull up into the infield here tonight. Jeremy Carpenter has called it a night. Looks like Gary Eschen, Dalton Williams has called it a night. And a couple drivers that are sitting down on pit road currently, Al Smith Jr., Brett Bartels, and A.J. Hamill. E.J. O'Rourke also down on pit road now. So a couple drivers down on pit road, a couple drivers still out there. One driver will get waved around the pace car here. That'll be the 88 of Matt McLean. He'll tag the back of the field as we get the signal. Double them up.
Yeah, these drivers on pit road, while they may not be able to get new tires, they can at least get some of that damage fixed. And for some of those drivers, they really needed that, because they've taken a few hard licks tonight, as it's been some classic bullring racing. But getting back to the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone, that 13G is going to be able to refire this field. And we'll see what he can do. He gets a great start off of the corner. The 15 of Matthew Barkhouse, he's able to get a good enough start. He's going to be able to get clear of Bietti just barely, and he's going to get himself back down to that preferred line.
I didn't think that was going to be a good start there for Matthew Barkhouse, because Guillaume launched out of turn number 4 like a rocket ship. But as you look at the Xander Sign Group onboard camera, you can see that, of course, it did work out for Matthew Barkhouse. He got back down to the bottom. That put the number 31, Justin Rigsby, to the outside there. Here comes Vernon Woodard. He'll push the Stand RC Speedway number 73 to the inside down in turns 3 and 4.
And there's some contact just behind them. Bill Martin, and it looks like the 66 of Stephen Rochford. Now the 51 of Fuller getting sideways. Somehow we are all still keeping these cars pointed in the right direction, and we are going to stay green, but there was a lot of chaos down there on this racetrack, and with how tightly packed this field, it is amazing that everyone was able to keep going.
A little bit of a bump there from the 8 to the number 51 as though the caution lights are on. It looks like the 40 of Rob Higgins, the driver out of Massachusetts, has gone around. There's the cowboy himself. He'll giddy back up on his horse and keep the car going here, but a lot of damage to the checkered flag auto supply number 40 of Rob Higgins. And I did see Justin Coachman down there. Remember, Coachman's been trying to get a couple of his laps back here. He will not get one back this time. Here's the 7th time the Confusion Performance caution lights are on the speedway. Jeremy Bingham also looks like he may be involved, as Justin Rigsby is right there. What happened? Because there you see the 17 of Bingham. Oh, it all started with Jimmy McIntyre and Mike Holtzclaw. Matt Eddy nowhere to go, and then all of a sudden Higgins and Bingham were just right there coming together.
That is going to stack up our field once again as we're getting towards the tail end of this race, running laps 77 of 125. So we're well past the halfway point. Guillaume Fortin has been controlling this field for the last little bit. He has been looking like he's got the momentum, but as we get some green flag runs, Matthew Barkos has been able to close up to him. So really, Guillaume is going to want to see these cautions keep coming out, because each time he gets a fantastic jump off of turn number 4 to collect their green flag. And Matthew Barkos, it takes him a few laps to be even able to close that gap back up.
Well, right now, the race leader has the Christmas theme on his car. I do believe I saw Stitch from Lilo and Stitch on the side of, or on the front nose of that car. Matthew Barkhouse has Santa Claus riding along. We already talked about the 11 of Brian Hacker having the Elton the Elf on his car. Rodney Hontoon has a Christmas-inspired scheme also. The Austin Designs number 5 of Scott Austin has the Grinch, and Mike Alexander also rocking his Christmas, and I believe that's Drunk Santa. I could be wrong, but I think Santa's drinking an adult beverage on that car. And there's other cars sprinkled out through the entire field here tonight that have some kind of Christmas or holiday inspired paint scheme here tonight, but we're ready to turn these bad boys loose here. Come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone, and Guillaume that time on the loud pedal, and Matthew Barkhouse, both those cars shake the tires.
Yeah, a little bit of wheel spin from both of them, and that is going to allow Barkos to slot in right behind Guillaume Fortin. Fortin not quite getting the jump he's been wanting, like he's been able to get the last few times, but looking a little further back, Bill Martin in that 39 machine. He started in 12th. He's up to 6th, and he's rolling that high side. He's actually going to get around Stephen Rochford in the 66 there.
Yeah, Stephen has the holiday lights on car number 66 after the big win. Now trying to follow one of the most all-time winning drivers here with the Upstate Racing League around the outside of the track here. As he's got now to the outside of the number 73 of Vernon Woodard. Woodard sideways down into the corner, drifting that number 73. He'll hang on to it, but he's going to lose a position or two here maybe, as now you see Bill Martin go to the inside on Justin Rigsby in car number 31. That'll be the battle for the 4th and 5th position. Everybody ahead of them is single-filed out right now, so this is the highest running battle. Contact sideways for the 39. He holds on to it. It's more contact deeper into the field. I believe that was Jeremy Bingham. He will come to pit road here, as he actually does stay back out there. It looked like he was coming to pit road on that slide.
Rigsby is trying his best to diamond those corners on the high side and getting good runs down the straightaways, but it hasn't quite been enough to get himself clear of that 39 of Bill Martin. And Martin is a guy that will take care of his tires. He will baby that right front and have pretty much the most tread left out of anyone here, but it does kind of slow him up a little bit during the opening stages of this race. But now at this point, he is going to have that pace. He's going to have that speed. But is it going to be enough to get himself both around the 31 of Rigsby and now catch up to Barkos, Bietti, and Fortin, who have kind of broken away from the rest of the field?
Yeah, laps are clicking away. It's still Guillaume Fortin out front. There's the 3 leaders. It's Guillaume, it's Barkhouse, and it's Bietti, as now it looks like possibly that 31. I thought he was going to clear, but he washed up the speedway that time in 3 and 4. Here comes the 39 of Bill Martin fighting right back down on the bottom. That 31 still trying to diamond off the speedway to get those runs down the straightaway. Straightaways just aren't that long here tonight.
No, the straightaways aren't very long, but that diamond line is working for him. He's been able to fend off that 39 so far, but Bill Martin is just creeping up slowly lap after lap. Now pretty much at the left front tire of that 31 of Rigsby, and Rigsby still trying his best, but I think he has pretty much burned up those tires almost entirely, but still fighting hard in that 31 machine. Stephen
Rochford just battling right behind there. He's trying to keep up with these 2 cars that are battling side by side on board with the Xander Sign Group onboard camera. You can see now Rigsby that time got a great launch off the corner. Caution flag is on the speedway. Caution lights are on, as I believe something may have happened towards the Michael Trevarthen entry. Not quite sure, but the caution lights are on.
12 of Brian Rogers Jr. looks like he got turned around in turns 3 and 4.
Well, let's find out. There's Michael Trevarthen. There's the 12. And, oh, yeah, it looks like Michael Trevarthen into the back of Lightning McQueen. And he got it sideways. Race control, itchy trigger finger to pull the Confusion Performance caution lights here tonight. So just a little tap there from Michael Trevarthen into the 12. And, oh, the 12 going to retaliate under the caution flag as Brian Rogers Jr. not very happy with Michael Trevarthen. Came up and, well, they made a little contact under caution.
And then almost immediately he got himself an earful from race control, and that 12 machine has now pulled it behind the wall. So I don't know if that was from race control itself or just him calling it a night after the spin, but that is going to be it for the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr.
So a rough night for Lightning McQueen and the Rust-eze entry for Brian Rogers Jr. So that puts an end to his night here tonight. He'll join drivers like Matthew Eddy, E.J. O'Rourke, Al Smith, Brett Bartels, Dalton Williamson, Gary Eschen, A.J. Hamill, and Jeremy Carpenter all behind the wall here tonight. Closing in, it does look like we will hit the under 30 to go. Hey, guess what, Kelly?
What, is it the 7 getting the lucky dog again?
That number 7, the Rumar Vinyl Designs number 7, getting another lucky dog. I think, is that going to put him now 2 laps down? So, hey, we're getting closer.
Closer and closer to being back on the lead lap. However, not very many laps left to go for him to get himself there and then try to get any positions. But it has helped for him. He started in 30. He was back in 35th tonight. Now he's moved up to 26 just purely based on the fact that he's been able to keep his car alive.
Battle of attrition here tonight, and he is showing us if you can keep the car on the speedway, you can pick up spots. So that's a good jump up for the number 7 of Justin Coachman. It'll still be Guillaume Fort and Matthew Barkhouse, Casey Beatty, Justin Rigsby, Bill Martin, Stephen Roachford, Vernon Woodard, Brian Hacker, Justin Fuller, and Joe Schaefer Jr. That is how we will line these cars back up, and I do believe they're getting the signal to double them up this time. So we're getting ready here. It'll be 96 laps officially completed, though, here at the South Boston Speedway. 96 when we go back racing.
And it'll be once again in control of the field will be Guillaume Fortin, with still Matthew Barkhouse to his outside, Casey Beatty right behind them. They had pulled out a good lead last time, but as we enter the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone, what is Fortin going to do this time? He gets a good jump this time. He's going to be able to pull ahead of the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse. Barkhouse just finding himself a slot in between Beatty and Fortin, and he's going to try to hold on to that second place as Beatty trying to hang on against Justin Rigsby that is battling on the outside.
Rigsby was a little sideways that time into turn number 3, so that may have heated up the tire. A little contact there between Casey Beatty and Justin Rigsby. Rigsby going to lose the spot to the number 45. So now here comes Bill Martin once again, and this time, though, Rigsby not going to be stuck to the outside like last time. He'll take the Ryan Beef entry and put that right back down to the bottom side and block the advances of Bill Martin. So Martin funnels back in line. Now it's going to be Stephen Roachford and Vernon Woodard. Looks like Stephen Roachford will take the spot. Now Brian Hacker's the odd man to the outside.
There's been a little bit of damage to the front of Bill Martin's machine, but he's going to be able to keep that car running, and he's trying to find himself a gap as he gets a bit of a shot from Roachford right behind. As once again, the top 3 of Fortin, Barkhouse, and Beatty are starting to open up a gap to the rest of the field as these guys seem to be kind of in a league of their own tonight. They
are well out front here, though Brian Hacker would like to be on a league that's on the bottom side of the speedway. He's still stuck to the outside. Elton still trying to guide that race car here tonight. A little contact there between him and the 51 of Justin Fuller, and then Hacker and the number 6 there. Going to make a little contact, but they keep it all going. There's the 4, Rodney Hontoon, Mike Alexander, and Steph Marinac, that have not been able to really make up any ground here tonight.
Well, Brian Hacker is going to find his way to that bottom side, and that is unfortunate for him as he lost a few spots before being able to get back down to that bottom lane, but that 11 machine isn't done just yet. He's still got himself in the top 10, and just outside the top 10 looking in, that is Rodney Hontoon and Mike Alexander. Hontoon had started in second and then had a bit of a bad run on the high side that dropped him way back, but he's now been battling his way back out in front, just got himself around Mike Alexander, and now he's trying to catch that 11 car.
Yeah, you got Santa Claus on the back there holding on to a present. Maybe he can take one home yet here tonight. Brett Hahn falling back through the field once again. He's down 13 spots. There's Chris Stump to the outside. There's the Washington driver, car number 23 of Ellie Musgrave. She has picked up 12 spots here tonight. No, she'll overdrive the corner. That car bobbles just a little bit. She'll hold on to the spot. One driver is going to spin it off turn number 4. That'll be the 13MA of Joshua Buckley. The Granny Hips Walkers and Canes checkered flag auto supply number 13MA going around the driver out of Pepperell, Massachusetts, bringing out the 9th Confusion Performance caution flag here tonight, as it looks like he may have just lost it on his own. We'll take a look back here. Let's zoom it out just a little bit. Watch that 13MA. Let's see what happened to Joshua Buckley. He was back there right around P20 at the time, as he got stuck against the inside wall. The tennis ball is just coming off the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry out of turn 4. Self-yeet is what they would call that up there in Massachusetts.
Yeah, just spinning the tires coming off of turn number 4. Very easy to do in these cars with the amount of power they have, especially late in these races, as they've burnt down these tires, and there's just not a lot of grip out there. Just in general, we've seen these cars sliding around all over the racetrack, and just at this point of the race, it was hard for Buckley to be able to hang on to it, but thankfully he was able to not take anyone with him, and it's just going to be a single car incident.
Hey, Kelly, guess what?
Is it the 7 coming around the field again?
7 coming to the high side here. Coachman, the driver out of Rochester, New York, the Rewire Vinyl Designs car. He is going to be uno laps down here. Uno.
So he has to hope for one more quick caution, and so he can get himself back on the lead lap and still have time to gain some ground, because we are on lap 109 of 125, and we have seen a lot of things happen in this race, so it is definitely possible. But one thing that did happen during that caution is it allowed that 39 of Bill Martin to get around Rigsby, as those two are once again battling side by side. But at the moment of the caution, 39 just had his nose ahead. He'll be in 4th place. He's going to be up with this lead group, and with the pace that 39 car has shown, he might be able to hang on to Fortan, Barkhouse, and Bietti. Yeah,
he'll have to start to the outside. The last couple restarts, though, that the number 39, the Doctor entry, had to start to the inside. So we'll see how that car does fire off as we come back into the Hanson Store Shop restart zone. This time as the iRacing.com safety car makes the left-hand turn. Guillaume Fortin straightens the car out, hammers the gas, and we are green flag racing. Look at Bill Martin. Great start. He'll try to force the 45 into an issue, as now the battle will be for the race lead. Here comes Matthew Barkhouse and the R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage number 15.
What a restart from that 15 car as he rocketed around that 13G of Guillaume Fortin. He's going to hang on to the race lead now, get it completely clear. And so there's a bit of contact behind them. The 66 of Rochefort gets tagged and goes sideways. He's going to be able to regain control of that car. He's going to get another shot from the 51 and move up the racetrack. They are 3 wide off of turn number 4.
3 wide. Now Rochefort going to go into the outside wall. Now Elton, the Elf, car number 11, going to go up into the wall. One car going around. It'll be the 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. Green flag stays out. They're 3 wide battling back here. Everybody stayed hammer into it. That time, race control going to let them race this one out. It's going to be a big mistake, though, for Joe Schaefer Jr. He'll go from inside the top 10 to outside the top 20.
I have no idea how we stayed green flag racing, but that is going to allow these drivers up towards the front of the field to keep battling it out. Bill Martin was able to get around Casey Bietti. Guillaume Fortin trying to hang on to Matthew Barkhouse, as Barkhouse, after getting the race lead, is opening up that gap over the 13G just a little bit lap after lap.
So everybody's single filing out. They will see this time by at the flag stand. Double high fives. It'll be 10 laps to go here tonight at the South Boston Speedway here tonight for the Best Holiday Creations. 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series, as it is all Matthew Barkhouse, Guillaume Fortin, Bill Martin, the top 3.
And Martin trying to close that gap to the 13G. There's looks to be pretty much an even space between all 3, maybe 4 of those drivers. Actually, Bietti now starting to drop back just a little bit from these leaders, as Barkhouse still showing that he has got some grip on those tires. He has still got a lot of speed left in that 15 machine, and he is trying to take this win home.
He's trying to take the win home. Vernon Woodard trying to take a spot away here. That'll be the number 31 of Justin Rigsby to the outside. They're come by this time. They will see 7 laps remaining. This is the battle for the 5th and final top 5 spot here, as Rigsby is holding it currently. Vernon Woodard would like it, and there's Justin Fuller and Stephen Rochefort, Brian Hacker back in 11th, and Steph Marinac is back into the 10th position. Actually, sorry, that's Hacker in car number 11 running 9th.
And the 51 of Justin Fuller just kind of pushing Vernon Woodard through here, trying to get him around Rigsby as he is wanting to stay in the contention for the championship lead here, as he's also going to be able to get around Rigsby, as Rigsby is going to drop himself back into 7th place. Just a few more laps to go, though, as we got 5 to go. They got the high 5 that time around. Matthew Barkos going to get around the 7 car of Justin Coachman. He's going to go back down to 2 laps down, but we got just a few more laps to go.
That definitely helped out Matthew Barkhouse. Here's Bill Martin trying to diamond off the corner to get the momentum built up in that brightly colored orange machine. The doctor in car number 39 trying to prescribe something here to the 13G of Guillaume. Not going to be able to make it happen that time. The laps are clicking down. It'll be 3 to go that time by at the line. Next time by, they will widen the popsicle sticks up for car number 15. Matthew Barkhouse will see 2 laps to go this time as he comes off 4.
And he's got himself a good gap over Guillaume Fortin, just over 0.3 of a second as they come across the line that time. So Barkos just has to keep that car pointed in the right direction. Martin trying to just get around the 13G to try to get as many points as he can here tonight.
White flag is waving this time off turn number 4 to be the Carpenter's Tax Service. 1 lap to go. The R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage number 15 trying to pick up the first win of the season for that team as he'll rocket down the back straightaway 3. Now this time out of turn 4. He will pick up the win here tonight. It'll be Matthew Barkhouse, Guillaume Fortin, Bill Martin, the top 3. And at the line, the battle was back there between Hacker and Rigsby, and it was going to be Rigsby holding off the 11 of Brian Hacker.
Some great racing and some great driving here tonight. We did see a lot of cautions, but that is just some classic bull ring racing. But we saw some bumping and banging, some great driving from Matthew Barkos. And really the move of the race was just that final restart. Barkos somehow rocketing around the high side around Guillaume Fortin. It just seemed like that 15 machine was on rails.
There you see the R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage Christmas theme here tonight. We'll do the Victory Donuts. He'll line it back up with the top 3 competitors. We'll take a quick break here from the South Boston Speedway, and we will be back here to talk to the top 3 podium finishers right after this.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Well, welcome back, race fans, to the South Boston Speedway here tonight for the Best Holiday Creations 125 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series, presented by the Upstate Racing League. 100 125 laps officially completed here tonight at one of the smallest tracks. Couple caution flags, couple hurt feelings here tonight, but there's no hurt feelings down in Victory Lane. It will be car number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse going to Victory Lane. Let's go down trackside and catch up with the number 15 of Matthew Barkhouse right now. Matt, a great race for you in the R&R Kingsman Auto Salvage number 15, and it all came down to one perfect restart here at the end.
Yeah, I definitely needed that. There was no way I was going to get by Guillaume without getting lucky on those restarts, and honestly, half the time it seems like it's just lucky. Just hopefully you go at the right time, and you're going to be there on the outside.
You were on the outside. A lot of these drivers trying to really fight for the inside lane here tonight, but we saw a couple passes just like yours. Was the outside lane there if you wanted it?
I think it was there for a couple laps. Just me and Guillaume will always race hard and clean. I think he shoved up a bit and got out of it just because we always try to run each other without getting any contact. So just kind of worked out to my benefit there, and I think I was a little bit quicker by the end. So it just happened to work out in my favor, getting that good restart.
You got the good restart. Is this one of those tracks that when you come to it, you feel confident, especially on that restart?
I wouldn't say I love it. It's not my worst track by any means, but I didn't think I'd be up front contending with it on the outside and things like that. I'm usually quicker at places like Southern National. I just got a little too eager there a few weeks ago, and it's great to finally get a win this year.
Yeah, you do pick up the first win here tonight for yourself with the series. How does it feel to beat the names of like Guillaume Thornton, Bill Martin, Casey Bietti, Justin Fuller? They were all there towards the end.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I have a lot of respect for those guys. When I came in this league a couple years ago, I was running like 15th, 16th, and it's great to finally be up there battling with them and having these good hard races, and it's a lot of fun. It's the best league I've ever been in. The
best league? How about this, though? Christmas is coming. You get to celebrate this win longer than anybody else will celebrate a win this season.
Yeah, it's awesome. Can't wait. We'll share with my brother there, Mike Alexander there, and we'll have some drinks, I'm sure, and it'll be a great off-season until we're back in the new year.
Well, we hope you have a Merry Christmas here, Matt. The red carpet will roll out here tonight for you. So the carpet's out. The microphone is yours.
Yeah, I want to thank R&R Kinsman's, Xander Sign Group, Rev Racing, Mike, and just all you guys for putting on these great shows every week. Al for setting up this league, and can't wait to get back here in the new year and hopefully pick up some more wins.
There you hear it from your winner here tonight. Matthew Barkhouse will pick up his first win of the season here, and it's none other than right here at the South Boston Speedway. Kelly, I believe you're standing by with the man who, well, he'll lead the most laps tonight, but won't pick up the W.
Yeah, caught up now with the driver of the 13G G-Man, Guillaume Fortin. Guillaume, you both got the lead and lost the lead on the high side. I mean, what was the kind of lines that you were seeing around here on the track? Was there really any pace on that high side?
Yeah, I knew the outside was pretty good. I was trying to get really good restart, and I spun the tires on the last restart. So I tried to get a little bit higher to find a groove that was faster, but I missed it a little bit, but it was all fun.
Well, you came into this race tied for the championship lead. Is the focus on the championship as a whole, or are you just kind of taking everything race by race?
Yeah, right now the focus is really on the championship. I've never been able to crack the top 5. I think I have a third in championship once, like my second year with Upstate, so now I'm really looking forward to get a championship and trying my hardest just to get top 5 and constant finishes.
Yeah, 2019, you were third in the points. Last year, you were fifth, and right now, this year, you are challenging for the championship. But you're going to have a week off, and then we're going to come back. We're going to be going to Stafford Motor Speedway, and what are you kind of expecting out of that track?
Yeah, usually I'm pretty good, but it depends also on where you start with the handicap system, because it's really hard to pass now with the tire that we have and the dynamic track that pretty much doesn't exist. So I'm gonna hope that my 26th place at Linear can help me start up front and just make my way forward from that.
All right, Guillaume, well, before we let you go, who would you like to thank for your second place run tonight?
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank Bill for the bump that he gave me. It's about 5 horsepower more, so thanks for that. And also at Absolution and you guys and Al Smith for putting this league in this burst cap. It's pretty awesome.
All right, well, Guillaume, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us. Congratulations once more on your run here tonight, and hopefully we'll hear from you again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
as Guillaume Fortin, driver of the number 13G and our second place finisher, but now we're going to be moving back along, going to be passing it over to Raju, I believe is caught up with Bill Martin.
Yeah, Bill's trying to do something over here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but Bill, hey, congratulations, a third-place finish here tonight. The car looks solid all night long as it was nice and steady working its way onto the podium.
Nice statement. Just because you say things and people can't see us doesn't mean I'm doing weird things. So, nice try, man. What am I supposed to answer your question? You didn't even ask a question.
Look
You just
at your photo, Bill. Look at your photo. Of course you're doing something weird.
I'm probably doing that's yeah. I forgot to change. I was actually going to put a real photo in that, and then I forgot.
Oh, don't do that. Nobody's going to tune in after that. They're going to go blind.
That's probably true. What if I wear a large hat and like grow all my facial hair out?
No, that's what I do.
It's something.
But hey, how about tonight, though? A little scrape on the right front fender, and the rest of the pixels look all right.
Yeah, it went all right. Starting 12th sucks at this track because you don't really know which lane's going to go. So you kind of just have to guess. And, somebody could be good on the outside and somebody could be good on the inside. And at any given time, the outside will just roll, and then sometimes the inside will roll. And then for me, when I got up to Rigsby, the inside stopped rolling because Rigsby was all over the place on a couple of those laps, and no matter how big a mistake he might have made, I couldn't pass him. It was impossible. And a yellow flag, I got lucky that my nose was ahead of him, so I got around him. And then there was a scuffle with the 66, too. He was pinching me pretty hard in the corner, so every time I'd hit the gas pedal, the car would just go straight. A track like this, you don't really have to pinch because the outside's got such an advantage on the exit, so I always try to do my best to not pinch a guy. That would be why, because 8 tires do not do better. They just send everyone to the wall, and it sucks. But I mean, other than that little scuffle, it certainly went positive. I finished 3rd, started 12th.
Yeah, starting a little
Yay.
deeper into the field. I mean, you talk about it. It was positive, that's for sure. What about the holiday, though? It's coming up. Is that a positive here for this group to maybe to regroup?
Do you really care?
Always
Do you
care.
really care what I'm going to do on the holiday?
Well, I was hoping you were going to invite me over for some of those ales.
I do have a bunch. Currently, I'm drinking Bell's official hazy IPA, which will be another paint job later in the season.
Well,
I haven't made it yet.
It's not a
but
bad
it'll be
one.
on
I've had
car.
it. It's pretty good.
You should try it. It's freaking awesome.
Well, how
It's got
about
a really
this?
cool pattern.
I'll drink one in the morning. I'll stop by the beer distributor here in Pennsylvania. I'll pick one up.
That's a bad idea. What if you got to drive? I guess it's
I'll
only
wait.
one.
I'll wait till I get home to drink it, but I'll pick it up from the beer distributor because I got to work tonight yet.
You gotta work tonight? Is that why you wanted this stream done 12 seconds after it started?
I was preferring 11, but I mean, who was really counting?
That's fair.
Well, hey, Bill.
I don't have anything serious to say, so.
Yeah, neither of us do at this point. So what if we say we wrap this one up? Who's on the car? Who's back home? And I guess Al's out there kind of looking at his watch.
Probably. Well, Bell's Lighthearted Ale's on the car this week. It'll probably be on the car for the next race. Then it'll switch again, probably to the Oberon car next. Going through a series of paint schemes with Bell's products. So thanks to Bell's for making a beer that I enjoy drinking several versions of. Thanks to Joe and Matt Eddy for racing with me. Can't thank him for the setup because none of us made it. Thanks for you guys existing and doing a good job. Somebody in my stream today said, damn, that guy's got a good voice for this. And I'm like, well, he should. He does it somewhat professionally. So good job to you guys. And finally, good job. Thanks much to Al, who goes out of his way to do a lot of different racing things for a lot of different groups, despite his wife's best efforts. So thanks to all y'all.
Well, there you hear it. That was the voice of Bill Martin racing his Pixel car around the pixelated raceway here that is known as the South Boston Speedway. Those are your top 3 competitors here tonight, with Matthew Barkhouse picking up his first win of the season, Guillaume leading the most laps, but he'll finish in second, and the doctor, Bill Martin, drinking one of his adult beverages, finishing into the 3rd spot. Casey Bietti will finish 4th, Vernon Woodard back into the 5th spot, Justin Fuller was 6th, Justin Rigsby back there into the 7th spot, Brian Hacker in 8th, Steph Merritt Saranac in 9th, and Stephen Rochefort back into the 10th position. Picking up the most spots here tonight at the South Boston Speedway was Chris Stump, so he'll take that award home here tonight. 16 spots gained for him to finish in the 12th position. But man, Kelly, we heard from the top 3. We seen the race here tonight, and it was a good one all around.
Yeah, there was a lot of good racing towards the front of the field. Drivers taking a bunch of different lines, being able to work the high side and make some passes happen. But these drivers were really contending with the track itself, as we saw a lot of drivers just struggling to maintain control of the car, as the car seemed to be really loose, especially on the high side.
That high side did come in occasionally here and there. The bottom lane was here and there also. That's what makes it great, that when we come here to South Boston, we can race all over the speedway. We can hit the wall, we can hit each other, and we can keep on going thanks to the iRacing.com platform. But that's going to about do it here tonight for the virtual South Boston Speedway. It's the holidays. They are upon us. That's why the drivers had their holiday paint schemes out here tonight. So we thank the drivers for, well, working with us here and putting on a little Christmas holiday or a New Year festivity. So for all the drivers that competed, thank you for that. And of course, everybody with Best Golf Operations thanks you, and we all wish you a happy and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year coming up here. So for Kelly Dahl and all the sponsors here with the Upstate Racing League and the Turn 3 Racing Network, we hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. My name is Roger Muth, and until we see you in the new year, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.